Hey, what's up guys? DC here with Ironman Boulder. This is video number four oops, too close, four of our video series leading into Ironman Boulder. I use these videos to help you guys get as much information as possible leading into Ironman Boulder so you have as few questions as needed and that you feel like you're very confident in how this race is going to work. If you haven't seen the other videos, scroll down on this Facebook page or if you haven't liked us on Facebook, like us on Facebook first, and then scroll down on the pages and you'll be able to find the other three videos and the topics that are included. But this topic on video number 4 is about race morning. Okay, so we're going to cover how to get to the reservoir, the shuttles, we're going to cover T1, and all the necessary information on race morning. Okay, so let's dive right into it. First question I get every single year is, where do I park on race morning? The city of Boulder at 4 o'clock in the morning is empty. It's going to be okay. Don't worry. There's going to be plenty of parking. I get that quite a bit. There's like 4 or 5 big parking garages that are all free in the city of Boulder. There's a couple that are paid for, so keep in mind before you pull into a lot, make sure it's a city lot or a city parking garage. If it's paid for, if it's a paid lot, you'll see it. The signs will be obvious. But on the weekend, parking is free in the city of Boulder, so all the street parking that's available to us as well in that side of the city are there's so many places to park. It's not a big issue. If you don't know where to park on race morning, it's because you didn't watch this video, and well, we can't really help you there. Once you've parked, the first stop you're going to take, there's two things. There's 2 bags that you got to check in. There's your bike special needs and your run special needs bags that you need to drop off before you get on the mandatory shuttle buses. You're going to hear me say mandatory a lot here. The 2 special needs bags that you have to drop off are going to go in 2 locations. But before I show you where they are, on your special needs bags, these are bags that go out on the bike and the run course that are at about your halfway points that you can access, that have, generally people put nutrition in there, some comfort items, maybe some sunscreen, whatever it is that you want to put there that's not valuable, because you're not going to get those 2 bags back. Once you put them out on the course with us, you'll be able to access them during the race, but once you've accessed them once, we recycle them, okay? And we do donate anything that we have available to us and things like that, and then they're gone from there. You don't get those back, so don't put your wallet, don't put your cell phone, don't put your keys, don't put your license, nothing valuable, you're not getting those back. But those are the first 2 things you have to do on race morning, is drop those off. And you drop those off. This is our Ironman Village right here on the green grass here in the city of Boulder. So you walked from parking up here, these 3 city blocks that you walked from your parking down into the Ironman Village area. You're going to stop right here in the city park first and drop off your run special needs bag right here. That's going to look a lot like this in the morning, okay? It's going to be dark, but we're going to have huge lights. You're going to see all the people walking together, and we're going to have all these bags stacked up next to each other, okay? Super easy to find. It's going to be right here on this sidewalk, okay? Because that's literally where you're going to access it on the run course later on. Second bag you're going to pick up, or you're going to drop off, is going to be right here on Arapahoe Avenue. That you're going to drop off with us, and that's your bike special needs bags. These ones we're going to load up into a truck, and they're going to go out to bike special needs, okay? They're going to be right there. You can drop those off. Do not bring those bags to the Boulder Reservoir on the shuttle. Don't bring those bags. Those need to be dropped off here. If you bring them to the Boulder Reservoir, we're not getting them out on the course, because this is the 2 locations you have to drop them off at, okay? Only spots. Once you've dropped those 2 bags off, you're going to walk a little bit further up Arapahoe Avenue, and you're going to load up on our mandatory buses. Everyone that wants to go to the swim, including athletes, spectators, family, friends, loved ones, all have to ride these buses. There's no other way for you to get to the Boulder Reservoir. You can't walk there. You can't ride your bike there. You can't drive your personal vehicle there. Shuttle buses only, okay? You'll get on these buses that are located right here on Arapahoe Avenue, and those will be located, they'll look a lot like this. You're going to see them when you're walking up. There's going to be 40-plus school buses waiting to load you up. We move something like 9,000 people in an hour and a half. It's super crazy and super fast and really, really efficient, okay? No one's going to do shuttle buses better than we do, you'll see, I promise. You'll get on those. We also have ADA buses here on 17th Street, so once you see these loaded up, if you have anybody that needs special assistance, even strollers that you don't want to collapse down, load the kids right up into the ADA buses, wheelchairs and everything, and the family can all stay together on those buses. There's no athlete buses specifically, so everybody gets to travel together. You just get on the bus, okay? And we load you up and we take you to the reservoir. A lot of people ask me why we only do shuttle buses. There's not enough parking at the Boulder Reservoir for an event this size. So if we were to open up the parking for just the few available, that morning it would fill up, and then all of a sudden all these people would be still coming to the reservoir, and they'd be like, wow, the lots are full, what am I going to do? There's a lot of reasons that we do the shuttles, including that one that I just explained, but everybody must ride the shuttles, okay? There's no other ways to get there. You can't park near, you can't walk from places nearby. There's no way to get to the reservoir. You'll be stopped literally by police officers that prohibit you from getting out to the reservoir unless you're on a shuttle bus, okay? Take that very seriously. Don't attempt to do anything else. You'll be gravely disappointed, and it'll ruin your morning and probably ruin your race day, okay? So what you'll do next is you'll be taking on, once you get on the school buses, remember, the one thing I did forget to mention is your morning clothes bag. So bring my face back here. The morning clothes bag is your bag that you get at check-in on Thursday and Friday from 9 to 5, because I've said that in other videos. You'll get those that bag, and that bag is what you have with you on race morning that you put all your warm clothes in that you were wearing as you were transporting yourself up to the Boulder Reservoir on our shuttle buses, our mandatory shuttle buses. So you'll get to the reservoir, you'll have some clothes on. Before you put your swimming stuff on, you'll take all those clothes, you'll jam them in the morning clothes bags, you'll leave them with me and my volunteer teams. They'll transport those back to the race, to the Boulder High School for you to pick up after the race, and they'll be waiting for you there. You can also give those to a loved one or a close, somebody that's just there spectating, that's fine too, whichever you choose, okay? Okay, so once you've ridden the school buses, I'm going to go back to small screen here, zoom out. You'll ride the school buses all the way up to the Boulder Reservoir. It's about a 10-minute to 15-minute drive. They will drop you off up here at the Boulder Reservoir on the west side of the Boulder Reservoir, these two big parking lots. The transition area for reference is over here. So you're just going to walk a little bit up the reservoir road to transition area. So let's take a little quicker look at the transition area specifically, okay? Once you come into transition, it's going to look a lot like this on race morning. You're going to see bikes in long, long rows that look just like this. You can see these numbers, 2001, their corresponding bike that's on there. It's really, really easy and clean. That's in these two lots right here. They're big, long rows. Okay, you did that. You dropped your bike off on Saturday morning, okay, yesterday, basically. Once you come in up the reservoir road, you'll be able to access your bikes on race morning, no problem. Put your nutrition on there, put fresh water bottles, whatever it is. You'll also be able to access your gear bags that you dropped off with us yesterday as well. They'll be located here, okay? We'll do a little practice swim or a swim warm-up in this space right here, this between these two docks. So if you're going to get in and get wet, that's going to be in these two areas. And then you'll be able to access back into transition, and you'll be basically loading in to transition from the practice swim after that. The swim start itself is this big blue arrow. Okay, that looks a lot like this on race morning. So you can see here, this is our, oops, that's not even on the screen. So you can see here on race morning, we've got a chute that goes down into the boat launch, and you've got everybody heading into the water here together as well. This is my good friend Philip Lahe, who is one of our ops guys that works for us for Ironman. He got the front and center picture and gets some publicity there. So everybody will load into the swim start there. You can see that everybody swims out north from the reservoir or in the reservoir and comes back. So we're going to take a quick look here at the overall swim course itself. It's 2 left-hand turns. Red buoys will be at the turns. Our buoys are spaced out at 100 meters per. So this is not an accurate representation of how many buoys there will be. This is just a cartoon version. But you'll find red buoys at the turn, 1 turn, 2 turn, and you'll swim back into transition right here. Once you head back into transition, I'll zoom in a little bit tighter. You'll head up the ramp, the boat ramp, and you'll find your wetsuit peelers right here in the grass. You'll grab your gear bag, hook a U-turn, head right into your corresponding men's or women's change tents. Once you come out of the change tents, you'll leave your bags with the volunteers that are there. You'll head through a porta potty section and then into transition. And from there, you will head into transition, grab your bike. Like I said, it looks like that picture I showed you. You'll head up the little road and you'll jump on your bike here. And you'll actually be heading out a little different area than in years past. In years past, we used to head this direction on Reservoir Road, and now we're going to be heading east out to the Boulder Fire Training Center. Okay, So a couple of things to keep in mind as well. On race morning, when you're heading into the swim corral, the start area, you'll see here, this is a picture of last year's swim start, that you've got these signs up here that say 1 hour and 16 to 1 hour and 30. This is what we call a rolling swim start. A lot like a mass marathon, we kind of load you up into categories based on what you think your swim time will be. So 1:16 to 1:30. The next ones are back here. I don't know if we can see them in this picture, but the next ones are 1:31 to 1:45, so on and so forth. And we basically launch you fastest to slowest, okay? Expected swim times. Now, keep in mind, everybody's swim time starts at the bottom of that arch, okay? What I showed you with Philip in the picture. There's a swim mat down here, a timing mat. Everybody's race starts here, so no matter how long it takes you to get to that mat, your race still hasn't begun, okay? Your time and your clock starts right here at the bottom of the ramp, all right? So don't worry about when you hear the gun go off, everybody's time is the same. It's not a big deal, okay? All right, so that makes, hopefully that makes complete sense. The other thing to keep in mind too is your 2 hours and 20 minutes that it takes to do the swim is the same for everybody, okay? So no matter when you cross that mat, your clock begins at 2 hours, for 2 hours and 20 minutes to complete the swim, all right? You don't have any more or less time based on where you put yourself, so it doesn't do you any good if you're a really slow swimmer to put yourself up with the fast swimmers. That's just gonna, that's a negative for everybody. You're gonna get swam over right off the bat. And people are going to have to deal with you in front of them when they really didn't have to. Okay, so everybody gets 2 hours and 20 minutes. If you don't swim the 2.4 miles in 2 hours and 20 minutes, you're going to receive a DNF. Okay, that's just the way it works. We have time cutoffs throughout the whole race, and I think that's pretty much it. So here's a couple more pictures of the swim venue itself. I'm going to zoom back a couple here, so you can see kind of the bike racks. You can see in the back, this is the last end of the swim chute in. A lot of bike racks. Let me find one of the swim exit itself. You can see here the swim exit, nice and straight line into the swim exit before people head off into the change tents, which is off here to the left, as I had depicted in this picture here. Pretty straightforward stuff in terms of information. As always, post your comments, questions below, but as I had mentioned all morning long, mandatory shuttles is the important one to remember. Everybody must be on the shuttles. The other thing to keep in mind as well, drop off your run special needs and bike special needs before you get on the bus. Bring your morning clothes bags with you. Once you get there, follow the masses in front of you. We'll have a nice little swim warm-up area. If you can, get wet before you get into the water, and we should be good to go. A lot of people are going to ask specifically about water temperatures as we lead into the race. I think everyone needs to come prepared for both. If the water gets loaded into the reservoir and it's nice and cool water, it could bring the temperatures down. If it doesn't, the temperatures will continue to climb, and we'll probably be right on that cusp again. So you need to come prepared for either a wetsuit or a non-wetsuit swim. If it's a non-wetsuit swim, you're still allowed to wear a wetsuit. You're just removed from age group awards and for Kona slots, okay? It's not a big deal. If you feel more comfortable in a wetsuit, that's fine. But I would recommend being prepared for both options for race day, okay? We'll know that week how close we are. If we're way above, we'll let everybody know. If we're way below, we'll let everybody know as well. We'll keep you updated on those two items. At this point, it's really hard to tell. That reservoir gets fed in, the water gets fed in through canals, and it's hard for me to determine what we will do. Okay, so keep that in mind. It could be one or the other, and we'll keep you updated. Questions, comments below. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. The next video, we're going to talk a little bit about the bike course. My good buddy Kenny Withrow from 303 Triathlon. If you guys are not following them on social media and through the different means in which you can get information about triathlon, 303 Triathlon is a great resource. We send a lot of information through them, but he's got a video for our bike course specifically that you'll see here shortly, and we'll get that posted for you. We'll do some run stuff as well, and more videos to come in addition to this one. Holler at me if there's anything I can do for you. Keep training hard, keep training safe. We'll see you soon.